All right, road warriors and weekend wanderers, I welcome you to CHUG CHOW. This is the podcast that fills your tank with stories, flavors, and stops that are worth pulling over for. I'm Todd Newton, travel junkie, lifelong foodie, guide to the places that make America taste like America, and author of the book CHUG CHOW, the Tattooed Traveler's 50 Favorite Dive Bars and Food Joints across America. That is the book that this podcast is based on. And whether you're tearing down Route 66 or just looking for a spot to chow down that has some character, this is the podcast that will point you to the real deal diners, those mom and pop joints and unforgettable watering holes that you won't find on a billboard. On this episode, we're rolling into a small town with some serious charm, KIMMSWICK, Missouri. Tucked just south of St. Louis, it's a slice of Americana with cobblestone streets, antique shops, and one very tall dessert. So join me as we pull up a chair at the Blue Owl Restaurant and Bakery. Missouri is known as the Show Me State, and this nickname originates from a speech by Congressman Willard Duncan Vandiver back in 1899, who famously stated that flashy words and boastful claims did not impress him. Coming from a place where one has seen it all, his words, he demanded proof. Now, Missouri is my home state, and having spent the first 25 years of my life right along the Mississippi River, Missouri more than proves itself with its rich music, friendly people, and hearty cooking. KIMMSWICK is a historic town, as I mentioned, located roughly 20 miles south of St. Louis. Founded in 1859 by a German immigrant named Theodore Kim, this small village quickly became a hub for merchants that were trading goods transported up and down the river. However, with the advent of the automobile in the mid-1900s, river traffic dwindled and KIMMSWICK fell on hard times. The town experienced a massive revitalization in the 1970s, with much of its 19th century architecture restored. Its grid layout makes it a charming, walkable destination for tourists seeking a glimpse into history. Today, KIMMSWICK, home to just 134 residents according to the 2024 census, hosts the beloved Apple Butter Festival each year. The town also features craft fairs, live music, wine tastings, souvenir shops, and delightful locally owned restaurants. The KIMMSWICK Historic District, where time seems to move at a gentler pace, deservedly appears on the National Register of Historic Places. KIMMSWICK's most prominent attraction, and certainly my favorite, is the Blue Owl Restaurant and Bakery. It was opened in 1985, and this establishment was the brainchild of baker Mary Hostetter. And in 1997, Mary's daughter, Kim, joined her at the Blue Owl as a professional pie slicer, and she officially took over the operation with her husband, Dan, upon Mary's retirement. They now employ 75 people at the restaurant and 25 more at their off-site bakery, which opened in 2011 and ships the Blue Owl's renowned pastries nationwide. Despite their growth, they've maintained the love and care that have made the Blue Owl a favorite nationwide. Of all their offerings, one stands above the rest. And I mean that literally. We'll dig into that in just a moment, but let's welcome Kim Byerly, Mary's daughter and current owner of the Blue Owl Restaurant and Bakery. Great to have you on CHUG CHOW. I tried my best to describe the beautiful town of KIMMSWICK. You could probably do it more justice. Can you take us for a little imaginative stroll around the town?
Right. Well, KIMMSWICK is a historic river town. We have around 25 shops and boutiques. We have 3 restaurants. We have the Blue Owl, and then a winery and a restaurant called the Dough Depot. And people travel here from all over the world, really, to eat at the Blue Owl and to shop in the town. And then it's located along the Mississippi River. So we also have some a museum. There's history in KIMMSWICK, so we have a history museum that has some really cool things that you can go learn about the town of KIMMSWICK. And then we also have the Anheuser Estate, which is located along the Mississippi River, and they Mabel Ruth Anheuser used to live there, so they do tours a couple days a week as well, so you can see some of her the way she used to live.
A really great day trip down to KIMMSWICK if you get the chance. Kim, I mentioned your mom and how she was the mastermind of the Blue Owl, opened back in 85. She did not come from a restaurant industry background. Can you tell me what led her to opening the doors of the Blue Owl Bakery and Restaurant?
Sure. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and her and my dad got divorced, and so she wanted to still be able to stay at home with us, so she started baking cookies out of her oven at home, and then she would go to craft fairs and sell them, and that took off. So all the neighbors started helping her bake, and anyway, they outgrew all their home kitchen ovens, and she decided to go find a commercial place to bake cookies, and someone told her about this town, KIMMSWICK. It was being restored at the time by a lady named Mrs. Ross, and so she came and found Mrs. Ross, and she had this building that was it was a restaurant already called the Blue Owl, but it had only been open for a couple of months, and it wasn't successful, so they just closed the doors. So, but Mrs. Ross had a vision for this restaurant, that someday people were going to be waiting in line to eat here, and so she told my mom she could use it to bake in, but she also had to keep it a restaurant. So she agreed, she took on the task, and she opened a restaurant and a bakery that has people waiting in line to eat here still to this day.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. You're open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., closed on Mondays. Is there ever a day where there's not a line formed prior to 10 a.m. of people waiting to get in there?
We do have a wait on a regular basis. The heat, might scare people away a little bit, but this time of year, it's just busy all of the time. We do take reservations, though, and call ahead seating, so you can, and plus there's all the shopping. So if you do come, you put your name down on the list, and then you come back after you shop at all the stores.
You are completely in charge now after Mom's well-deserved retirement there, and the appeal of the Blue Owl goes far beyond its delicious food. It's the ambiance. It's the sense of comfort, the feeling of home, the feeling of family that is very much a part of Missouri culture. And that's not something you can rush out to a restaurant supply store and buy. You can't manufacture that. It has to come from the soul.
Oh, it does, for sure. Our goal every single day is to make sure every customer that comes through the door is just blessed, and that we just love on them, and that they have a great experience, not only with their food, but with their customer service and the atmosphere. Just, we love people here.
And it shows. It shows.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the Levee High Apple Pie. This is what you're known for. Featured on Travel Channel, featured on Yahoo Life, featured in USA Today, featured in Bon Appetit, featured on The Tattooed Traveler. If you have not seen my video at the Blue Owl restaurant, please go to the YouTube channel at The Tattooed Traveler, and you can see the Levee High Apple Pie for yourself. This pie might be the dessert of all desserts. It's a masterpiece. Can you go into some detail on this thing? It's just an extraordinary creation.
Right. People are amazed with that pie. Back in 1993, like I said, we are located along the Mississippi River, and so the river flooded, and they had to build a levee down the back street of our restaurant. And I mean, it was tall. You could stand on the second story of our restaurant and almost touch the water. So the town was about to flood. The levee wasn't going to hold another day when up the river, a levee broke, and that released our water to lower, and so our town was saved. So in honor of the levee, we always made like a tall apple pie, but not like this. So we added more apples to it. So now it has 18 apples that are hand placed and sliced up, and they're hand placed in the pie. Then we bake the pie, and then we add the caramel pecan topping, and we call it the Levee High Caramel Apple Pecan Pie in honor of the levee.
It is 9 inches tall. It weighs 10 pounds, like a small dumbbell that you might use at the gym. Homemade dough. And as Kim just said, 18 golden, delicious apples. You've got your cinnamon sugar in there and that caramel pecan topping. And once it's flipped upside down, it becomes the towering showstopper served at the restaurant. Now, for friends listening up in the Northeast or down in the Florida Keys or out in California, you ship nationwide, do you not?
We do. We ship those pies year-round. You can get them for any special event. They arrive frozen and unbaked so that you get to have the whole experience. You can save it for the day of the event or whatever you want to use it for, and then you bake the pie in your oven, and when it comes out, then you add that caramel pecan topping, or you can get it without the caramel if you don't care for that. But either way, you can have it in your own home anywhere. We ship all over the country and now into Canada, too.
Now, my grandmother used to make an apple pie where you got a good chunk of apple in every bite. But just so people don't have to rewind to make sure they heard clearly, 18 apples per pie?
Yes, 18 apples per pie. And they hand place every single slice of that apple. So when you slice into it, it is a perfect slice of apple pie.
Well, even Oprah put it on her list of favorite things. Also, the Today Show on NBC, The Accolades, go on and on and on. Kim, you are doing something truly wonderful and very rare. You and your mom, of course, have created a cozy little corner there in KIMMSWICK, Missouri, where strangers become regulars and regulars become family. And I thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling me.
And the next time I'm in the great city of St. Louis, I'll make that short 20-minute drive down to the Blue Owl Bakery to enjoy some of that apple pie. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, awesome.
Exploring the streets of KIMMSWICK while gazing upon the magnificent Mississippi River creates memories to last a lifetime. But Missouri isn't your only gateway to the Blue Owl's famous delicacies, as you've just heard. Nationwide shipping all the way up into Canada. Their signature Levee High Apple Pie and their other confections could be yours, delivered unbaked and free from preservatives directly to your doorstep. For those of us who occasionally track our calories, I guess that's a little incentive. But then again, when you're talking about a dessert that weighs 10 pounds, who's counting calories? If that didn't make you crave a slice of something warm and buttery, you may want to check your pulse. Again, thank you to Kim and the Blue Owl Restaurant and Bakery. If you enjoyed the ride, be sure to subscribe to the CHUG CHOW podcast. Leave us a little review. We appreciate that. It helps us spread the word. And remember, if you don't have your very own copy of the book CHUG CHOW, The Tattooed Traveler's 50 Favorite Dive Bars and Food Joints Across America, it is available now on Amazon and at chugandchow.com. Every copy sold puts 10 meals on the table for folks experiencing food insecurity. So know we are grateful for you. Until next time, keep your tires hot, keep your drinks cold, and never, ever settle for boring food. I'm Todd Newton for Chug and Chow. We'll see you at the next stop.
Chug and Chow is produced by the host with the most LLC. All rights reserved.